They were together for 37 years. They raised children, overcame illnesses, paid bills, buried their parents, and built a story many would envy. And yet, today, they live like strangers under the same roof. They sleep in separate beds, speak only when necessary and when their eyes meet. It's the kind of look that silently asks, "How did we get here?" This is the quiet portrait of thousands of marriages around the world. They haven't officially ended. They still share the same last name, live at the same address, and even pose together in family photos. But inside, they're broken. The connection is gone. The soul left before the body. What remains is a survival pact. They call it a gray marriage, a separation that doesn't scream, doesn't scandalize, but consumes in silence. And behind this seemingly normal relationship collapse is something much deeper, a planetary vibrational shift that's dissolving every bond not built on truth. Gray divorce is the collapse of relationships that were held together by convention, fear, comfort, or attachment, even after their soul missions were already completed. And this wave is growing not by chance, but as a direct symptom of the spiritual transformation the Earth is now going through. Dolores Cannon spoke of this, even if she never used the term. According to her, many relationships are built as temporary energetic contracts, meant to enable learning, trigger unconscious pain, and allow deep healing. And when that function ends, when the soul has extracted everything it came to learn, something inside begins to die, even if life looks normal on the outside. That's why so many people, especially after 50, feel a strange restlessness they can't explain. They may not know how to name it, but they feel it. I don't belong here anymore. It's not about ingratitude, it's about a spiritual calling. And that calling doesn't shout, it whispers. It starts as a hollow ache, then it turns into insomnia, fatigue, even physical pain. It brings questions that never existed before. If I live another 20 years, do I want to live like this? Is this really all there is? What happened to the light in the eyes of the person I married? In many cases, there's no cheating, no abuse, no major fights, just the end of a connection. Dolores Cannon said that anything not aligned with the frequency of the new Earth will begin to fall apart. That includes jobs, homes, and yes, relationships. When the vibration of two souls drifts too far apart, when one rises and the other stays rooted in the old, something breaks. And forcing that bond to stay intact can lead to illness, depression, and a deep existential emptiness. The soul asks for space. The ego answers with fear. But what do you do when you've been with someone for decades? When there's history, family, property, promises? Dolores never romanticized pain. She said the soul doesn't care about social expectations, about what others will say or how things look from the outside. The soul wants to grow, to evolve, to learn, and often that requires letting go. In her regressions, she saw couples who came into this life only to fulfill a specific chapter, raise children, heal past life trauma, or learn forgiveness. Once the mission is complete, the connection dissolves, not out of hatred, but because the frequency has shifted. It's like two radio stations that no longer tune into each other. And forcing a connection artificially, for the kids and for our age, for appearances, only deepens the void. The body remains present, but the soul, it left a long time ago. The pain of a gray divorce isn't just marital, it's existential. It's the pain of looking in the mirror and not knowing who you are anymore, of sleeping next to someone and feeling more alone than if you were truly alone. And worse, it's the guilt, because the one who awakens first suffers more. The soul starts asking for change, but the rational mind fights back. How can I walk away? What if I'm being selfish? Maybe it's just a phase. Fear paralyzes, and many choose to stay sick rather than set themselves free. But Dolores Cannon used to say, "You didn't come here to please others. You came to fulfill a mission." Staying in a relationship your soul has already left, just to keep up appearances, can delay your entire spiritual path. The new Earth demands truth, and that includes being honest about what your heart can no longer pretend to accept. Maybe you're living this right now. Maybe you woke up today and looked to your side, feeling a hollow you couldn't explain. Maybe you cried in silence because you don't understand what's happening inside of you, and maybe deep down you already know the answer, but haven't had the courage to say it out loud. If that's the case, don't blame yourself. You're going through one of the most painful and lonely processes a human soul can experience. the breaking of a sacred bond that has already served its purpose. And though it may feel like the end, it could be just the beginning. Dolores said the collapse of a marriage can be the birth of your true individual soul. From the moment you choose to honor yourself, life begins to align you with something new, a new cycle, a new purpose, and maybe even a new love, not one to complete you, but to walk beside you. Now let me ask you this. How many people do you know who are still in long marriages, but emotionally dead? How many are sick, numb, emotionally shut down, simply because they can't set themselves free? Could this be your pain too? And are you ready to listen to what your soul is whispering before your body starts to scream? If this message touched something in you, leave a comment below. Share this video with someone who might need it, and subscribe to this channel, because here we don't speak to your mind, we speak to your soul.